I know, right?
Yep. So today I'm going to be talking about Amazon, in particular PPC. High cost for organic ranking and LTV customers. So this is applying to products that have a high reorder rate, vitamins, dog food, etc., etc. So what what are sellers panicking about? What you often see is high ACoS, and sellers are often quite scared when they see this, especially when they have products that have a high reorder rate. But that's mainly because they aren't calculating the metrics properly. And you'll see here that my images get better each slide because my prompts slowly got better on ChatGPT to create the images. So keep that in mind. So a lot of sellers will see high ACoS, they panic, and then they cut bids. Okay, so the problem is these brands and sellers are only looking at that
Hey
initial
Dylan,
order.
sorry, but I'm not sure if you're trying to share your screen, but it's not coming through.
Let me try again.
It's through now. Thank you so much.
Okay, now it makes more sense what I was talking about. You'll see how bad this image is here and how my prompt progressively gets better each slide. So keep that in mind. I apologize for not sharing earlier. So what happens? So advertisers or brands and sellers go look at the advertising console and they see high costs. So they panic, they cut bids. What's the problem with this for products that have high reorder rates? Well, they're only looking at the first order. So that high ACoS is generally just on one order. Now on Amazon, it's a little different because you don't have as much data available to calculate your reorder rate, how many orders each product is getting on average from each customer. So for the other guys here that are working with like Shopify and websites and things like that, they have access to better data. So Amazon, you have to be a little smarter about it. So the thing that sellers are missing are the five repeat purchases that happen with no ad spend. So they spend on their initial order, and then over time, that customer comes back and buys that product 4 or 5 times without any more ad spend. And then this is the data that you're not checking. So on Amazon, if you go to your brand analytics, you'll be able to see a report that is called repeat purchase behavior. So what does this show you as the seller? Well, it shows which products drive repeat orders. And the key metrics that you're looking for are repeat customer percentages. Or you can do like, it doesn't actually give you that percentage directly, but repeat customers divided by number of orders. I've given you an example there, 180 repeat customers, 600 orders, 30% repeat rate. You can get a little more detail out of that and go deeper into it, but you'll start to see which of your products have a high reorder rate. And those are the products that you're like, maybe I can target a higher ACoS or I could spend more for that initial acquisition. So, why could 70% or even higher ACoS be profitable for your product? So, first of all, what is ACoS? ACoS is essentially your selling price minus costs divided by your selling price, and then you'll get your break-even ACoS. So basically, if your product was 50 bucks and you spent $50 on ad, you're spending 100% of that ad spend on the product to gain the customer. Okay. So you'll see here that the initial purchase could be 70% ACoS and you're at a -$6 loss. You go to your ad console and you start panicking. This is where you are here. Step one. See, they're slowly getting better, these images. You can see the ad cost is showing for the order one. And then most sellers and brands, they look at that 70% ACoS and they're like, oh my gosh, my ACoS is way too high. I'm going to cut everything down right now. But what they don't look at is when that customer comes back and they make one, two, three, four, five more orders, and it brings that ACoS all the way down. So that first order, 70% ACoS. And then after five orders, you're looking at a $54 profit, but the real ACoS is only 28%. This is why it's so important to calculate the lifetime value and then calculate what the ACoS would actually be if you accounted for those orders. So, what can you do this week in order to figure out what your actual ACoS is for each product? So you'll see here, I told you the images get better. You can see on order one, the ACoS is at 80%. And as you go down, each order is still the same spend essentially, but you're going 40% ACoS, 27%, 20, 16%. Why is this important? Because that means when you launch your campaigns, you can target a higher ACoS because you want to gain that customer. You don't want to go over after 30% ACoS, 40%. You want to go 80 plus percent ACoS. And why is that important on Amazon? Because essentially what that means is you're spending more, your bids are higher, and your ads are going to appear higher in the search results. So you get higher visibility and you're going to get more click-through rate and hopefully more orders. So here are the actions that you can take right after this call or in the following week. Open up that repeat purchase behavior. It's in brand analytics. You'll see a tab at the top that says repeat purchase behavior report. Do it by ASIN. And I would recommend doing a time range of more than a month. Like if you can do quarterly or more, just give you more data is always better. Find the average orders per customer. So anything with 4+ orders, somewhat high LTV. And with those products, like if your products are products that are people are going to reorder. You know your brand, you know your product. So this is kind of a very basic level, but what you can do for those products is create new campaigns and bid aggressively on those LTV products. And just to set a 70%, 70 to 100% ACoS or even higher. Because what you're going to do now is you're going to get all the metrics that I've given you today, and you're going to calculate what your actual ACoS is. So you'll see that 80%, but it'll really be 20% or so. And then that just gives you a much better understanding of your product, your branding, and where your ad spend is going. And it reduces all your panic and gives you the metrics that you really want to see. Now, as I said, Amazon is a little hard because they don't give you exact data points, but there are tools out there that you can connect to Amazon. If you run Shopify or your own website, obviously data is going to be way better. So you can even use that data and somewhat apply it to your Amazon data. At least it gives you an idea of where your actual ACoS is. But that is essentially my presentation for today. We are offering a free Amazon audit. If you would like this audit, you can go to www.preventisagency.com/free audit. Well, look over your account, see if we can help you with anything. I'll go over your SEO, PPC, etc., whatever you think you need help with. And if you want to reach out to me directly or if you have any questions, my email is dylan@preventisagency.com, or feel free to just go to our website and look around. So I thank you guys for listening. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dylan.